asked Michael Czar, hey, I think it was like a while back. I was supposed to um, do a book reading, and that got, you know, kind of changed as the whole world changed here. Anyway, I was supposed to do one on the What Angels Fear and Out of Darkness Cleveland, and it was going to be a big event at PNC Fairfax Community Center, but it got changed. But the books are still on Amazon, so I wanted to go over both books and why they're like together and why I wrote them. They're actually not books as so much as they're screenplays. This is the one that started out as Kiramu as a stage reading and became an Emmy-winning TV movie. Okay, and also introduced the character of Lieutenant Foster. Actually, Foster shows up in another story, my called The Darkest Night in Heaven, and a lot of people sometimes begin writing stories with the idea of the story, but I do a little bit different. I consider myself a character writer because over the years I've been writing stories since I was a little kid. I learned how to read when I was about 4, and I started writing stories about 5, and I wrote something called The Space Kids. Yeah. And I put all my friends in it, and then people I didn't like, I would like kill them off and such, which was actually a lot easier than getting into fights with them and stuff, but that's a whole nother story. Okay, so anyway, sometimes I would try to control the story and make people friends, and they weren't friends. And I wrote this one space story years later called "In on the Vault of Heaven," where these two characters, they were friends, and every time I was singing with them, it didn't seem real. So I did like, I guess I want to call it like a stream of consciousness. I just start writing what the characters felt. I didn't like edit myself or anything. I just start writing. These two guys hated each other. They tried to kill each other, okay? And that's the way I write stories. I think that some people write stories where they try to control the stories, but to me, I feel like I'm just kind of like writing something that's already there in some other universe or some other world or something. That's just my mindset here. But I don't think I control as much as I mean, some part of my brain probably controls. I wouldn't even want to say about that. But so with the character of Lieutenant Foster, he's in a couple of different stories of mine, and that's why I focused on him as far as going into the mindset of how I write stories. Okay, I think you can begin with a character because F. Scott Fitzgerald said that character is action, and you come up with this character who you have to know the character. You have to know what they eat for breakfast. You have to know what their mindset is. You have to know what their favorite color is. You have to know more about themselves than you know about you. And sometimes you discover things about the characters that you didn't know or you didn't think about. And it just seems to be natural. But I think if you try to force characters to be who you want them to be, even though you're in control of the story, you come up with like something that doesn't seem real. And as I got into making movies, I would come up with, actors, and there's a whole nother thing of actors fitting your characters and such, and which goes into the Out of Darkness Cleveland, which always like having the main character of Angie, which I don't think I know that well. I mean, I know her, but I don't know her. That's why probably her character doesn't. She's kind of like a mystery to me as much as she is to the audience. But I want to give people a mindset about characters, and I think the most important thing I want you to do is like as far as creating characters is a thing I used to do. Okay, they used to have these magazines. I took from my sister that we always do like these personality quizzes and such. And so take a personality quiz from the point of view of your character. You know, don't try to pigeonhole your character like, oh, I want this person to know Japanese and fight this kind of way, and yet that doesn't really fit that character's mindset. You know, and sometimes your characters, if you're fortunate, they will surprise you. And Lieutenant Foster has surprised me over the years, and Angie has definitely surprised me in a lot of different ways and such. And so that's the main point here. I want to have people come away with something in these little maybe lessons or whatever you want to call them here. So find the personality quiz and take it from the point of view of your character, and that's the best way you can create characters. And we're going to come back to this thing about creating characters because that's really going to show you how to create a story, how to create a screenplay, because it's all about the people. And there's it's funny thing, my sister watches a lot of movies, and there's this one movie that she watched, and these people were trapped in a tunnel up underground. It's flooding, and she says the thing that you never want people to say about your character. She says, "I don't care if these people live or die," and it wasn't a cruel statement. It was just like you couldn't care about the characters. I mean, you don't have to make a character that's sweet, nice, and kind, and everything, you know, but people have to care about your characters, and that starts with you. You have to know your characters in order to make people care about them. So, hope this is helpful to you, and we're going to come back with this more later, okay? And remember, there are no small movies, only small budgets.